Good morning and welcome to Positively Port Angeles. Here we are in beautiful Port Angeles, Washington. We're in the Pacific Northwest on the beautiful Strait of Juan de Fuca. We're a waterfront international host city, and today we have a special treat. Today we're going to take the Coho ferry from our beautiful harbor in Port Angeles and go to Victoria, British Columbia. You see, Port Angeles is a gorgeous waterfront town. Our front yard is our beautiful waterfront. Our backyard are the Olympic Mountains, and in between, everything you want is here. And one of the fun things about living in Port Angeles or visiting Port Angeles, Washington, is when you come and see us, you can take a day trip and go to Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. And so today we want you to come with us and go visit Victoria. So y'all come, let's have a fun day from Port Angeles to Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Come on, guys. The deck of the Coho as we're pulling out of the beautiful Port Angeles harbor. As you can see, we have the magnificent Olympic Mountains just behind Port Angeles. And what a beautiful morning. The water is smooth as silk. The sun is shining, and it's a beautiful day here in Port Angeles, Washington, up on the North Olympic Peninsula of Washington State. The fun part of living in Port Angeles, just one of the fun things, is we can take a day trip or a weekend to Victoria, British Columbia, and that's what we're doing. We're so happy you're joining us today. So you can see the magnificent natural beauty all around us. So we're leaving the beautiful Port Angeles harbor and we're setting out across the Strait of Juan de Fuca. It's 18 miles directly across to Victoria, British Columbia. So join us, it's an adventure, and we're positively Port Angeles, having a fun time from Port Angeles to Victoria. What a beautiful day. The Coho is a beautiful ferry. It's been servicing our community for 58 years now, and it accommodates 1,000 passengers and over 100 cars. It's a very comfortable trip. We're in the front of the ship in the passenger lounge, and we have the most beautiful view of the Strait of Juan de Fuca. We can see the mountains of Canada behind us, and sometimes, if we're lucky, we'll get to see an orca whale. But it's just a beautiful ship. It's a 90-minute trip, and all of a sudden, in 90 minutes, you're in a foreign country and having a beautiful experience. So, from Port Angeles, Washington, Victoria, we call this our bridge to Canada. So it's a fun trip. Many of you have taken the Coho, and for those of you who haven't, I'm glad you're coming along with us today. We're in the passenger lounge now, and there's comfortable leather seating for a lot of people. And beautiful, beautiful windows so we can see all the beauty surrounding us. We're going to also go back to where there's a cafe and there's a little ship's store where you can purchase souvenirs of Canada. So we're just going to tour the ship, and we're glad that you're with us today. So come on along, let's explore the Coho. The most fun part is shopping, of course. So here we are on our Coho ferry, and there's even a gift shop. You need a souvenir t-shirt, and who doesn't? Or postcards to send to your friends and relatives at home, making them wish that they were here with you. You have it all. So from snacks to souvenirs, you can even enjoy your shopping on the 90 trip Coho from Port Angeles, Washington to Victoria, British Columbia. Of course we're going to shop in downtown Victoria, but hey, why wait? The Coho has it all. So it's just a fun trip, and we're glad we're here. On the Coho ferry outside for a Juan de Fuca and the morning sunrise. Can you imagine anything more beautiful? What a fabulous way to spend your morning. The Strait of Juan de Fuca is absolutely beautiful, and with the sun coming in, we're between two countries. We can see the mountains behind Port Angeles and the mountains behind Victoria, and we're between two countries in the most beautiful spot in the world. And yes, I'm prejudiced, but we're on the Strait of Juan de Fuca. It's an inlet between the United States and Canada, and it's a shipping lane, so we see lots of ships going up and down, carrying freight, and also there's a lot of cruise ships. So it's a beautiful sight, and our 90-minute trip over to Victoria is it's a mini vacation in itself. What a beautiful place to be. So just enjoy the view and enjoy the trip. We'll be coming into Victoria in just a few minutes. The most exciting part of our trip on the Coho is coming into the inner harbor of Victoria, British Columbia. World famous Victoria Harbor, where the Empress sits there like a crown jewel and the legislative building shines over the harbor. It's an exciting trip, and as we turn into the harbor, we're seeing some exquisite beauty. The inner harbor was developed over 100 years ago and has built out with hotels and condos and the government buildings. It's all along Government Street there. So it's a beautiful harbor. We're going to show you as much as we can as we're coming into the harbor, and hope you enjoy the exciting finish to our Coho journey from Port Angeles to Victoria, British Columbia. Take a look at the harbor and see how beautiful it really is. Right behind me are houseboats. People live on houseboats here. There's a pier and there's condos, and it's so picturesque, and it's a beautiful, beautiful scene. Inner harbor of Victoria, British Columbia. We just got off the Coho. They're unloading passengers, cars. People from around the world are coming here from Port Angeles to Victoria, British Columbia. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be in the 70s. There's not a cloud in the sky. And look at the beautiful inner harbor. Now that we're here, we're going to take you around Port Angeles, or not Port Angeles. Now that we're here, we're going to take you around Victoria from Port Angeles, and now we're going to give you a tour of the city, beautiful city of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Thank you, Coho, for being our personal luxury yacht today. And we're here in Victoria and going to have another perfect day in Victoria. So come on, let's explore. Hi, this is nothing like being treated like a queen or king with your royal carriage ride. These beautiful velvet carriages are pulled by the gorgeous horses, and they'll take you through tours of downtown Victoria. What a treat, what a fun thing to do. These Victoria carriage tours and are pulled by beautiful horses. And if it's a cold evening, you even have a warm blanket to throw over your knees. But today is a magnificent day, and we're enjoying our carriage ride with our beautiful horse. So come to Port Angeles, take a day trip to Victoria, or even an overnight trip, and don't forget your carriage ride. It's a magical city and so many fun things to do. So come join us. This is great. We're having a great day in Victoria. We are in front of the legislative building here in Victoria, British Columbia. It's acres and acres of lawn and park and memorial statues that the people love to visit and enjoy. The legislature is open and free to the public. You can go in and tour there, and plus they have a wonderful cafeteria inside. But this is facing the inner harbor, and at night it's all lit up with beautiful lights like a shining star on the harbor. So it's a fabulous historic building, and it's an active legislature. So come, and when you're in Victoria, come and tour. The legislature is free, and actually it's fabulous. So we're having a perfect day in Victoria. Had to take my coat off. It is so nice and warm and sunny, and we're just enjoying a stroll through the inner harbor and downtown Victoria, British Columbia. I have found two historical figures. There's Amor de Cosmos, a former premier. He was a newspaper man, and he, well, sir, would you tell us your background?
Yes, I was the second premier here in British Columbia back in 1872. I had the newspaper here, which actually still exists. It's now called the Victoria Times Colonist. And I also worked in Ottawa, represented Victoria for nearly a decade.
We read your newspaper regularly, sir, and I'm delighted that you were successful in politics and became the premier. And Victoria, of course, is named after Her Majesty Queen Victoria, Madam. So would you please tell us how long you were monarch?
Yes, so I was monarch from 1837 to 1901, which was approximately 63 years, which was the longest reigning up until Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, who has passed nearly 65 years.
Well, we're delighted, and there are free tours here every day, Monday through Friday, and free guided tours here Monday through Friday. And if you're lucky, you will meet some of our famous historical figures. And so what a wonderful thing to do. Come to Victoria, learn the history, meet historical figures, and have a wonderful day. So thank you, Mr. Premier. I'm so grateful for your time, and Your Majesty, thank you for greeting your people every day, Monday through Friday. We're so happy to be here in beautiful downtown Victoria. Thank you so much. On your visit to Victoria, one of the things you must see and do is a visit to the Royal BC Museum. It has fabulous historical visits and wonderful current rotating exhibits, things that are so exciting and interesting to see. It's a must-see. And there's an IMAX theater that shows amazing movies that you'll just really enjoy. So make sure when you come to Victoria on your day trip from Port Angeles that you make a stop at the Royal BC Museum. You'll be glad you did. In the middle of downtown Victoria, overlooking the harbor, the inner harbor, is the Majestic Empress Hotel. The historic Empress Hotel is over 100 years old. It was established in the early 1900s when the Victoria City Council wanted to develop their inner harbor. It was just a stinky old, dirty old mud flats, and they wanted to create a beautiful wall and inner harbor, and they offered land to Canadian Pacific Railroad Company if they would build an iconic hotel for it that would be here for at least 50 years. Well, they built the Empress. It's over 100 years old, and it is the most iconic hotel in all of Canada. So it's beautiful. In fact, it's important to me because as a young man, my grandfather was recruited from Port Angeles to come over and help build the expansions on the hotel that ran for decades. It just kept expanding. It has gardens, it has lawns, it's a magnificent castle that captures the beauty and historic nature of Victoria itself. So come and see the Empress and visit with us as we walk into Victorian England is what it feels like. Very elegant, very Victorian, and always the lady overlooking the harbor, welcoming tourists from all over the world. This is our wonderful Empress. Join us, let's take a look around. day in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Here we are at Pendray Inn and the Pendray Tea House. You know, when you come to Victoria, you need to pamper yourself. So take a break and come and have tea. It's exquisite, it's divine, it's delicious, and it's a special treat. So this is a historic house. This is over 100 years old, and it's an old family home, and it's so wonderful. Come in and just enjoy the beauty and sit down, be waited on like your royalty, and have high tea. It's a fabulous experience. So I'm going in to have high tea, so come on and join me. Let's have a good time. Well, the highlight of any visit to Victoria is high tea. Here we are at Pendray Inn and Tea House, and we have a beautiful selection of their high tea. There's a selection of desserts and sandwiches and scones that are light and fluffy and to die for. It's an exquisite opportunity to pamper yourself and take a break during the day. This wonderful historic home is beautifully decorated and historically preserved, and so what a lovely afternoon break. Come to the Pendray Inn and Tea House and join us for afternoon tea. It really doesn't get any better than this. The inner harbor of Victoria is just stunningly beautiful. They have a marina for your boat, for your yacht, or your coho ferry, whichever works for you. But it's so beautiful. There's little water taxis that'll take us from one part of Victoria to another. They're really, really fun. They run all day. And it's just a wonderful inner harbor. It's calm because we're away from the main ocean. It's protected and it's developed. It has the legislature on one side, it has the Empress Hotel on another, and it's just surrounded by beauty. So it's a perfect day in Victoria, and when you come here, I'm sure you'll want to walk around and look at the inner harbor and enjoy the scenic beauty that is uniquely Victoria. So here we are in the inner harbor, literally on the water, and one of the most fun experiences of Victoria is take the water taxi point to point. So Martin, tell us about the water taxis, where they go, and how long have you been doing this?
Well, this is my first year doing it, and I'm just having a wonderful time meeting people from all over the world. It's really terrific. And water taxis, as you say, they go point to point in the harbor. And we also have tours. We have a harbor tour and we have a gorge tour. There's lots of choices, and folks are enjoying all of that.
Okay, well, can we join you?
Yes,
we hop aboard?
Yeah, let's go for a ride.
All right, well, hop aboard with us and let's take the water taxi. Okay, see you on board. Leaving the Empress Hotel property and all this beautiful topiary and flowers are part of the Empress property. We're leaving the Empress Hotel and we're proceeding down Government Street. Government Street is the main shopping street. A lot of famous stores. We're headed down through the shopping district. We're headed to Chinatown. So come on, this is really getting fun. Victoria on Government Street, there are two world-famous stores, three actually, Hudson's Bay, Monroe's bookstore is world famous. It's a must stop for you. And Murchie's Tea Room and Bakery is a must stop for the hungry visitor. They have an amazing assortment of everything fabulous. It's world famous. So when you on Government Street, look for Monroe's Books and stop in for a bite at Murchie's. You'll be glad you did. Here we are. We've come down Government Street to Chinatown. This is the entrance to Chinatown in Victoria. You can't come here and miss Chinatown. What an experience. What a treat. So come with us as we walk down Fiskard and we go through Chinatown. We look at the shops, the restaurants. It's just an experience that you need to have when you come to Victoria. Here in downtown Victoria on a perfect day, one of the fun things to do is hop on the Sightseeing Bus, take a tour. It just lasts for a couple of hours and you get to go all over Victoria and see the sights. So let's get on the double-decker bus. It's right in front of the Empress, right in the inner harbor, and it's the most fun you could have in Victoria. Well, we're leaving Victoria after an absolute perfect day. We're headed back to Port Angeles. We've bid a fond farewell to the beautiful Victorian city. So it's been a wonderful day. We hope you've enjoyed it. We're heading back to Port Angeles as the sun will be setting over the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Thank you for joining us on this adventure from Port Angeles to Victoria, British Columbia. We've had a fabulous day. We hope when you come to visit Port Angeles, you'll take a day trip to Victoria and enjoy the sights, because Port Angeles is an international host city. It's just another adventure, and thanks for joining Positively Port Angeles. For now, I'm saying goodbye, farewell, and as Cherie Kidd, your host,